It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers and D-backs winding up a 3-game series. This is also the 15th meeting of the year. By the way, Arizona has found a home here at Dodger Stadium. They've beaten the Dodgers 6 out of 8, and this will be the 9th and final game here. Then the last 3 games of the year will be in Arizona. As far as the pitching tonight, well, it'll be, among other things, Clayton Kershaw trying to win his 19th and Daniel Hudson trying to win his 17th. But the Dodgers last night were able to stymie Ian Kennedy in winning his 20th. Now tonight they're trying to get their teammate to get him his 19th, and the 2 candidates for the Cy Young Award winner will go right down to the wire. We got a lot going on. Pull up a chair. We'll have the ball game right after this. The critics have spoken, but the cars speak for themselves, like the 2012 Sonata and Genesis. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealer or MySoCalHyundai.com. By Lowe's. Experience Lowe's. Let's build something together. By CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice. Baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by Hyundai. The critics have spoken, but the cars speak for themselves, like the 2012 Sonata and Genesis. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealer or MySoCalHyundai.com. By Lowe's. Experience Lowe's. Let's build something together. By CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. And by AT&T.
And welcome back, getting you set for the finale between the D-backs and the Dodgers. LA trying to avoid the sweep to Arizona. It should be a good game if it's anything like last night. A lot of fun, certainly. 7th inning, Quo versus Parra. Parra squares the bunt. Quo throws inside. Parra doesn't like it. Take me through what happens next.
Well, then he takes him deep, and he does his best Reggie impersonation, and this ball landed about the 3rd row of the seats. But obviously, He's showing up quo. He looked at him when he ran around the bases, and then A.J. Ellis said to him, you know what, you're better than that. You shouldn't do that. And the biggest problem that I have with it is, you know what, there's a saying out there that says, let sleeping dogs lie. This is a playoff team in Arizona. You don't want to wake up a dog like the Dodgers right now who have nothing to play for two reasons. Because it takes away from your concentration on winning as far as the Diamondbacks are concerned, and you can get somebody hurt.
Kershaw showing a lot of emotion, considering he has so much on the line, the Cy Young. How do you expect him to come out tonight? What do you expect to see?
I expect him to go out and play baseball. I think he's going to pitch his game, and I don't think anything's going to happen in this ball game, especially if it's close. If it gets out of hand, then I think you're looking at a different scenario. Remember, there's 3 more games with this team at the end of the season. There's also next season, which is generally when baseball squabbles get settled. But bottom line, Clayton Kershaw's going out there to win a ball game tonight. He's not worried about drilling Parra. And quite frankly, I don't think that it will be Kershaw that drills him. If anyone does, it'll be someone out of the bullpen.
He's showing way too much maturity for letting something like that bother him, and we expect to see Kershaw throw out another tremendous performance like he always does here at Dodger Stadium. First pitch coming up next. Stay there.
Ticket is brought to you by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. By your Southern California Ford dealers. Visit us today. Trade up to Ford. And by Corona. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be. We're at Dodger Stadium, final game of 3-game series with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the aftermath of last night's game leaves a little more excitement in the air tonight. For Arizona, they're sailing along nicely. They have won 6 of 8 here at Dodger Stadium. They had a 15-game winning streak at home. They are 8.5 games in front of the Giants. And the lineup for Kirk Gibson: Willie Bloomquist at shortstop, Aaron Hill at second, Justin Upton in right, Paul Goldschmidt at first base, Miguel Montero the catcher, Chris Young in center field, Ryan Roberts at third base, Gerardo Parra in left field, and Daniel Hudson on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, left-hander, 23-year-old Clayton Kershaw with a record of 18-5, battling along with 3 others in the Cy Young Award race. Last night, the Dodgers were able to slow Ian Kennedy down, so he has stopped at 19-4. Kershaw will try to win his 19th to get to 19-5. Roy Halladay of the Philadelphia Phillies shut out the Houston Astros today. That clinched things for the Phillies, and Halladay is now 18-5. Ian Hunter had to be disappointed as the bearded right-hander from Huntington Beach leans on the railing in front of the Arizona lineup. And Cliff Lee is also in the hunt, although he is 16-7. Philadelphia, by the way, by winning today, they are 95-51. So they have really outrun the field. Arizona with 87 stolen bases, and Clayton Kershaw ready to work on Willie Bloomquist. And the left hand is first pitch a little high, ball one, 1-0 the count. Willie Bloomquist hitting .270, 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. And the next pitch, a hopper to short, nice big bounce for G, and Gordon throws him out. So 1 away here in the first inning, and Aaron Hill coming up. We'll take a look at the Dodgers with the Leather, Gwynn, Kemp, and Sands, Miles, Gordon, Carroll, and Loney on the infield. Rod Barajas behind the plate, handling Clayton Kershaw. So with 1 away on a beautiful evening, 67 degrees, hardly a breath of air stirring the flags in center field, and here is Aaron Hill. Hill hitting .241, 7 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Went 1 for 5 last night, a double, and takes a strike. In the first game of the series, he also had a double. Hill with a home run and 10 runs batted in, came over from Toronto, and the pitch is swung on, high fly ball, hooking foul down the line. Coming over is Gwynn, watching it go back into the stands, foul, and the count 0-2. So the Arizona Diamondbacks just trying to run away and hide. The magic number for Arizona to eliminate the Dodgers would be a Kirk Gibson win tonight. Here's the strike 2 pitch on the way, and it's a check swing, no swing, says Tim Tashida, and the count 1-2. By the way, in talking about Kirk Gibson, he has a shot. Among other things, there's only one other man who was a player and to win 2 World Series and then win a World Series as a manager. And of course, Kirk Gibson has a shot at that, having won as a player with Detroit and with the Dodgers, and now a shot at the playoffs and who knows what. The other man who did it was Leo DeRocher, who played for the Yankees and the Cardinals and managed the Giants to a World Series. Ground ball to third, up with there. Aaron Miles makes a long throw, and just like that, we have 2 down here in the first inning. And the batter now will be Justin Upton. Dodgers have really done a number on Upton, one of the really top players. 1 for 5 last night, striking out twice. 0 for 4 the game before, and against Clayton Kershaw, 0 for 16 with 7 strikeouts. Of course, all of the Dodger pitchers have done a number on him. He's hitting 140 against the Dodgers this year, and he takes high, ball 1. So you really have to have some very fine pitching to shut him down. Justin hitting .295, 30 home runs, 86 runs batted in, and he also has stolen 21 bases. The 1-0 pitch, fastball high, ball 2, 2-0. Clayton Kershaw was rather vocal in the Dodger dugout last night, hollering at Gerardo Parra. However, hopefully for him, that's behind him. When Parra does come up, he's got to just face him like any other hitter. The 2-0 pitch, slow roller to short. Gordon up with it. Plenty of time to scale it over there. So Upton taps out. Down go the D-backs, and at the end of half an inning, Arizona nothing, and the Dodgers coming up. D-backs down in order. Now the Dodgers coming up trying to get him some runs. And it'll be D. Gordon at short, Tony Gwynn in left, Matt Kemp followed by James Loney, Aaron Miles at third. Jerry Sands starts in right field. Rod Barajas behind the plate. Jamie Carroll at second. Clayton Kershaw on the mound. On the mound, Dan Hudson, a very good pitcher. You talk about the Hallidays, the Kershaws, the Lees, etc. The first pitch to Gordon in for a strike. Dan Hudson is a big fella at 6'4", 220. He's only 24 years old, from Virginia Beach, Virginia, originally signed by the White Sox. Strike one pitch is inside, 1-1. If the Diamondbacks get him 3 runs, his record is 16-3. He is that tough. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Gordon holds up, ball 2. One thing, leadoff hitters in every inning are hitting 300 against Hudson. But after that, the rest of the lineup hitting just 241. The 2-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, 2-2. D. Gordon hitting 267. Started off September with a rush, 16 hits, but he's been shut down pretty much ever since the Giants series. 2-2 pitch coming up to D. Foul back. For Daniel Hudson, he's also been unlucky. The number of runners reaching base on errors, he's had 11 of them. He's also a workhorse. Coming into this game, he had made 3,132 pitches already. He also gets a lot of 0-2 counts and gives up a lot of hits, 0-2. Fastball fouled away. He has allowed 16 hits when the count's no ball and 2 strikes. He's also basically a fly ball pitcher. So a few thumbnail sketches. Little chop at a third, on the line, picked up, and no play by Roberts. In fact, I think Ryan Roberts might have done a better thing and let the ball decide the issue, because as soon as that ball left the bat, Roberts really didn't have a prayer, although it was a good 1.5 to 2 feet on the grass and probably wouldn't have gone foul anyway. So D. Gordon opens up with a squib single to third, and the batter now will be Tony Gwynn. So Tony basically appearing a lot as a pinch hitter, but he checks in hitting 258. He has 2 home runs, 22 runs batted in. He's been very good coming off the bench, 8 for 22. So the left-hand hitter looks, and the first one is low. 1 ball and no strikes to Tony. On deck, Matt Kemp. One and 0. So Kemp waits. Hudson out of his stretch, looks over his shoulder at Gordon. The bunt, a drag bunt by Gwynn, barehanded, and no throw by Hudson. So Daniel Hudson is in trouble, and you could put both base hits together and it might reach third or first base. So the drag bunt down to get it, and Hudson looked, lost the play, and just like that, a squib single by Gordon, a drag bunt single by Gwynn, and the Dodgers are after Daniel Hudson. So 2 on, nobody out, and of course that brings back painful memories, I'm sure, for Ian Kennedy, who gave up 4 runs and 5 hits in the first inning to the Dodgers last night. So as Kennedy looks on, Daniel Hudson will have to contend with Matt Kemp. Kemp in his career has 20 home runs against Arizona. Hudson set, ready, deals, first pitch in for a strike, count 0-1. Matt Kemp 1 for 5 in the past against Hudson. Bottom of the first inning, no score, but the Dodgers have 2 infield singles, 1 a drag bunt. Now the strike 1 pitch to Matt. Hudson out of his stretch. Runners go. Pitch inside. Throw to third. And running into the tag is Gordon. So there was a surprise. as the Dodgers try to pull off a double steal with Matt Kemp at the plate, and D. Gordon, the front man, is erased. Good throw by Miguel Montero, so that D. Gordon had a slide right into the tag of Ryan Roberts. One hand was on the bag, the other hand was tagged. Third base umpire Marty Forster there to make the call. So a little bit of a surprise. No stolen base for Gwynn, but he is at second. Now the 1-1 pitch coming up. Kemp, a hopper into left field, base hit. Here comes Gwynn around third. Good throw to the plate. He is safe. The throw looked like it was going to beat Tony Gwynn. Parra, who has 10 assists, really got there in a hurry, and apparently the plate was open just enough for Gwynn to get in there, and the Dodgers lead 1-0. A strong throw by Gerardo Parra on the fly, and Montero went out in front of the plate to get the throw. That left the plate exposed, and Gwynn was able to get a hand on before the tag. So Matt Kemp, a base hit, a run batted in. He takes second on the throw to the plate, and the Dodgers are on the board. So the speed of Tony Gwynn pays off. Now hitting behind Kemp, James Loney. And a huffing and puffing Tony Gwynn takes a breather in the Dodger dugout. He did not get a stolen base, remember. When you get the front man, the trailer does not collect. However, he still was able to score the run. So Matt Kemp at second base, 1-0 Dodgers. James Loney hitting .277, has 9 home runs, 52 runs batted in. A great throw by Gerardo Parra brings up the fact that he's tied with Matt Kemp in assists from the outfield. I said Parra had 10, but he has 11. So does Matt Kemp. Carlos Gonzalez of the D-backs has 12. So Matt at second. 1 out, 1 in, 1-0 Dodgers. And Daniel Hudson looks down the barrel to get a sign. Daniel deals, and it looked like an off-speed pitch. Swung on and missed, and the count 1-1. Hudson, originally signed by the White Sox out of Old Dominion University. He was a 5th-round pick. As we said, 24 years old. And Hudson out of a stretch. The 1-1 pitch to Loney as he looks back at Kemp, now works low and inside. Ball 2-2-1. Remember Edwin Jackson, who pitched for the Dodgers and then went to Arizona? Well, Jackson went to the White Sox, and that brought Hudson to Arizona. That was back on July the 30th, 2010. Hudson brings a good fastball, slider, curve, and change. Out of a stretch, the young right-hander again looks at Kemp, back to Loney, and gets it in there, and the count 2-2. Last year, left-hand hitters batted only .203 against Hudson, and right-handers hit only .201. With those impressive numbers, he was 7-1 with Arizona. Now the 2-2 pitch coming up. Fastball sliced foul off third down the line, and it's still 2-2. One of the things that Daniel Hudson does, and I'm sure it's more natural than copying somebody, he stays closed with an across the body crossfire delivery. It might remind some people of the brilliant right-hander of the Angels, Jared Weaver. So Daniel out of his stretch, another look back at second, double checks, triple checks, and backs off the rubber. Of course, when you have Matt Kemp out on the base paths, you have a lot to think about. Kemp, as he stands at second base, remember, has stolen 38 out of 47. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Loney. It is swung on, a comebacker. Kemp goes to third. The out recorded at first. And we have 2 down with Aaron Miles coming up. So Loney hits back to the box. Soft hopper.
Number 6,
Aaron Miles trying to pick up Kemp from third. Miles 1 for 4 in the past against Hudson. And as we always do with a runner at third, we check. Daniel Hudson has 4 wild pitches. Meanwhile, D. Gordon and Tony Gwynn having a serious conversation, no doubt about stealing bases. So Hudson now going from a windup, and the right-hander delivers a little high, ball 1, 1-0. Of course, the modern day windup is nothing like the windup of, well, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Today, it's really just a turn on the rubber, no big pump. Kemp down the line. The pitch to Miles is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Matt always makes you think of a stolen base, but it would be rare to see him try to come home with a left-hand hitter at the plate. Miles, the switch hitter, batting .275, hitting left-handed against Hudson. But it certainly gives Dan something to think about. Hudson again turns, ready, and the 2-0 pitch, and that's low. On deck, Jerry Sands. So Hudson coming into the ball game, 43 walks and 156 strikeouts, but he gives up a lot of hits. 203 innings and 202 hits. Miles takes inside. So I think he might have been pitching around Miles, and he'll take his chances against the rookie Jerry Sands. Although Sands has been pretty impressive in this series, while Montero goes out to the mound, we can tell you that Jerry Sands had 2 walks, a double, and a single last night. In the game before, he had 3 singles. So Sands has his average from about 190. It's now up to 214. 2 home runs, 20 runs batted in. So first and third, if you're thinking about Miles stealing a base, he has stolen 4 out of 6. And of course, then you think, well, if Miles goes, maybe Kemp would go as well. So we'll see. Dodgers have already tried the double steal. So here's Sands, right-hand batter. Out of a stretch comes the right-hander Hudson. Works it low, ball 1, 1-0. So Daniel Hudson having a big year. Everyone talking about Ian Kennedy naturally, but Hudson a 16-game winner. The 1-0 pitch on the way is taken for a strike. Jerry Sands started left field, finished in right. Tonight he starts in right. This would be only his 2nd start in right field. Just called up, remember, last Tuesday. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Jerry. Hudson delivers, fastball at the knees for a strike, and the count 1-2. So Daniel Hudson gave up a squib single to Gordon up along third, a drag bunt single by Gwynn. They tried the double steal, but Gordon was nailed at third, but then Kemp singled home Gwynn. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way, fouled upstairs off to the right. So the count remains 1-2 to the boy from Smithfield, North Carolina, although he was born in New York. He was drafted by the Dodgers in the 25th round. He was at Catawba Junior College in North Carolina. He'll be 24 this month on the 28th, the last day of the regular season. Ground ball off the glove of Bloomquist on out into left field. Kemp scores. Going to third is Miles, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. So Jerry Sands singles to the left of Willie Bloomquist, who made a dive. The ball went off his glove, dribbled on out into left field, and the Dodgers now lead 2-0 with Rod Barajas coming up for the Dodgers, their 4th hit in the inning. So 4 hits and a walk, and they are doing to Hudson, or at least they're trying to, what they did do to Ian Kennedy with a 4-run first inning last night. Rod Barajas checking in. Rod, of course, played for the Diamondbacks. First and third, 2 out, 2-0 Dodgers. And Hudson delivers, and it's fouled away. 0-1 the count. Barajas, originally signed by the Diamondbacks out of a tryout camp way back in 1996, made it to the Diamondbacks in 99. In fact, he was with them from 99 through 2003. Strike one pitch on the way. Rod takes low, 1-1. Then the ride began. From Arizona, he went to the Rangers, the Phillies, the Blue Jays, the Mets, and finally the Dodgers. Well, Daniel Hudson has made 30 pitches, or will, on this pitch to Barajas. Ian Kennedy made 41 pitches last night in the first inning. 1-1 pitch, Barajas takes low. 2-1 the count. So Jerry Sands having himself quite a series against the front-running Arizona Diamondbacks with a base hit tonight, 2 hits and 2 walks last night. He also had 2 consecutive hits in his last 2 at-bats in the first game. 2-1 pitch, and Barajas fouls it away. So let's see. 2 hits for Sands, 3 hits, then a walk, that's 4, then a single, that's 5, then a walk, that's 6, and a base hit now. So he's been on base 7 straight times against Arizona. Dodgers lead 2-0 in the first inning, and Barajas waiting. The 2-2 pitch to the Dodger catcher. Daniel Hudson ready, comes to him, ground ball to short. Bloomquist fumbles for a moment, gets the force play, and that's it. Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits, and leave 2. That's a rare ground ball by Barajas. 2-0 Dodgers. Out in front by 2 in the first inning. Last night it was 4-2. Tonight it's 2-0. 32 pitches made by Daniel Hudson. And now the D-backs will send Paul Goldschmidt, Miguel Montero, and then the center fielder Chris Young. 2-0 Dodgers. Kershaw ready, and the left-hander comes over the top. Good fastball in for a strike. Fastball at 93. Goldschmidt, a big boy, checks in about 245, 6'3", right-hand hitter. The next pitch, curveball in there, 0-2. Clayton Kershaw has given a lot of innings. He hasn't pitched less than 8 in a while. The strike 2 pitch is inside. The last time he had less than 7 in a start, against Colorado, he went 6 2/3. So he's just been brilliant to compile a record of 18-5. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Clayton deals, curve in the dirt, and the count 2-2. Kershaw 2-1 against Arizona, 5-2 lifetime, but actually he had a 5-game winning streak against Arizona until they finally beat him. They beat him a while ago, the 7th of August. 2-2 pitch on the way, breaking ball in there. Strike 3 call. So Goldschmidt caught looking, and after 3 ground balls in the first inning, Clayton gets a strikeout, and the batter will be Miguel Montero. As far as strikeouts are concerned, Kershaw's high this year, 12 against the Giants in July. His high in strikeouts, 13 against the Giants 2 years ago. And with that strikeout, it gives him 232. Now Montero tries to drag a bunt, hits it back to Kershaw, who throws him out. So Montero with 16 home runs, trying to bunt his way aboard, but instead of dragging it, he hit it right back to the box. So Miggy, as they call him, a little frustrated. And the batter now is Chris Young. You know, I was thinking about Chris Young, and I'm certainly not trying to put him down. There's no kidding on that. Here's a kid who has 20 home runs, and he has struck out 126 times. And just to make sure, I looked it up because I remember a player who played with the Dodgers briefly in 1952. His name was Tommy Holmes. The pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Tommy Holmes in 1945 had 636 at-bats, and he hit 28 home runs. Young hits one in the air to left center. Here comes Gwynn. He'll pick it off. Anyway, that year, Tommy, 636 at-bats. He hit 28 home runs. He struck out 9 times. 2-0. Two nothing Dodgers, bottom of the second. Jamie Carroll will start it off. Again, I preface this by saying I am not trying to give Chris Young a bad time at all. I just want to draw a parallel to another major league player, and you might find it really startling. Here's the pitch to Carroll, low, ball 1. Let's get back. His name was Tommy Holmes. In 1945, 636 at-bats, 28 home runs, and he struck out, so help me, 9 times. The pitch to Carroll off the plate, ball 2. And here's the kicker. Tommy Holmes, in his major league career, 4,992 at-bats, struck out in his career less than Chris Young has struck out right now. In other words, Young has struck out 126 times. Tommy struck out 122 in almost 5,000 at-bats. Is that something? 2-1 pitch, ground ball up the middle. Bloomquist can't get it. Into center field she goes, and Jamie Carroll opens up with a single to center. Say, remember, it's USC night at Dodger Stadium tomorrow at 7:10. Dodgers and Pirates. Fans in attendance receive a Cardinal and Gold LA cap, compliments of USC University Hospital. To show your support for both teams, buy your tickets now at Dodgers.com/promotions. So here's Kershaw, very handy with the bat. He has 8 sacrifices. We'll see if he tries to dump one. He does. Pulls the bat back and the pitch inside. Ball 1. 1-0. Tim Wallach looking over into the dugout, and Timmy passing along if the bunt is still on. Clayton has only made 17 pitches in his 2 innings of work tonight. The 1-0 pitch. He drops the bunt up along first. Montero's only play is to Hill covering. So for the 9th time this year, Clayton Kershaw does his job advancing Jamie Carroll. So a runner at second, 1 out. And the batter will be D. Gordon. Big swing, and Gordon dribbled one up along third, legged it out for a base hit. Goldschmidt has to play up on the grass. Roberts is on the edge of the grass as Gordon checks in. Amazing. For call, Carroll, Uribe, Sellers, and Gordon all playing short. And the first pitch to D in for a strike. Dodgers have had a lot of shifting personnel. Figured they'd have a team named Sands. 0-1 the count. Hudson set, looks back at second, comes back to Gordon. Soft ground ball to short. The only play is to first, just in time. I mean, Gordon makes a routine ground ball a bang-bang play every time. Jamie Carroll advancing to third. A lot of pressure on the infielders, knowing they can't hesitate because Gordon is flying down the line. So 2 out, and Tony Gwynn coming up. Tony had that drag bunt single, went to second on the aborted double steal when the front runner Gordon was erased at third. They still have to shorten up the corners, and Tony way out in front of a pitch, in the count 0-1. Gwynn batting .261, 2 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Tony waiting. Hudson turns on the rubber, comes back 0-1, and it's low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Daniel Hudson gave up 3 hits, a walk, and 2 runs in the first inning. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way, and that's low and inside, ball 2. Check me on the hits. Jerry Sands singled a Bloomquist glove, so the Dodgers had 4 hits in the first inning and lead 2-0. With 2 out, Hudson doesn't want to look at Kemp again, so the 2-1 pitch hit in the air to left field, very playable. Parra is there, and that's that. So no runs, a leadoff single, and a man left, and at the end of 2, Dodgers 2, D-backs nothing. the second inning. Now goes up against a guy who has given the Dodgers a bad time. One of the few Arizona Diamondbacks to do so. That's Ryan Roberts, who shows bunt, takes ball one. The D-backs have beaten the Dodgers 9 times, despite the fact 3 of their solid players have not done a thing against them. But Roberts has. He swings late, 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris Young hitting 174, no home runs. Miguel Montero, 1 home run, hitting 135. Justin Upton, 1 home run, hitting 138. So you'd figure you stop Young, Montero, and Upton, you'd win more games than they would. But the D-backs have done it, and one reason is Ryan Roberts. He's hitting 371 going head-to-head against the Dodgers. He takes a pitch in the dirt, and the count 2-2. He has 13 hits and 4 home runs, so he's really been a one-man gang against Dodger pitching. Ryan Roberts. 2-2 the count. The boy from Texas, right-hand hitter, swings, lifts a fly ball to right field. Jerry Sands is right there, and just like that, we have 1 out. So now here comes Gerardo Parra, and this is when we will find out about Clayton Kershaw and whether he has matured and grown up. He would be very, very foolish to even think about Parra and the incident involving Hung-Chi Kuo and the fact that he was hollering. You will find out from the Dodger dugout. He has to forget it all, and Parra's just another hitter. Fastball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Parra, by the way, in his last 3 games at Dodger Stadium, has hit 3 home runs into the right field pavilion. He swings and doesn't get it, and the count 0-2. For Parra, facing Kershaw, he is 0 for 6, and he has struck out 4 of the 6 times. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball foul back, throwing hard at 96. So Clayton has to concentrate on the game, never mind this hitter. He's just one of the 9 that keep coming up to the plate. Parra hitting 299. Here comes Kershaw, high and tight. That's not a knockdown pitch. 1-2. Parra has 8 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Parra last night 1 for 3 against Hung-Chi Kuo, and the 1 was a home run, and then he hit 1 last night. He takes off the plate, 2-2. When Parra checked in against Kuo, he turned around as if to bunt. Kuo's pitch was right at his head and went all the way to the backstop. You tell me whether it was intent. The 2-2 pitch to Parra, swung on, fouled away. Parra felt that it was intent. He looked out at Kuo, left home plate very slowly, watching the ball go into the stands. Went around the bases, looked a couple of times at Kuo. Then as he crossed home plate, with the Dodgers in the dugout hollering, A.J. Ellis said something to him. 2-2 pitch. Fastball whacked into left center. One thing you have to say, and the ball is finally cut off by Cam Parra on his way for 2. He is in there. He can't answer, and you really have to admire him. The crowd is booing. He's 0-2 against Clayton Kershaw. He battles and winds up with a double. He also was straddling Jamie Carroll when he went to second base. So he's a big league player, and he promptly answered Kershaw's "you will find out" with a line drive double to left center, which, by the way, is his first hit against Kershaw. He's now 1 for 7. So Parra, who without a doubt, at least in my opinion, is the best number 8 hitter in the National League, maybe in baseball. The pitch to Hudson in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Hudson, by the way, is no slouch with the bat. He homered against the Dodgers' Ted Lilly in July. He has 14 runs batted in, 17 hits with 3 doubles and the home run. The strike 1 pitch to Dan Hudson, foul back, 0-2. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers, no runs, 1 hit for the D-backs. Parra with a double to left center. Daniel Hudson, you know, is no slouch with the bat, hitting .288. Kershaw out of his stretch, looks back at Parra. Left-hander ready in the strike 2 pitch, curveball, but he just missed with it. Big overhand Uncle Charlie, as they call it. 1-2 the count. 1 out. Parra at second. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Kershaw ready, looks at Parra, back to the plate, check swing, and it's dropped by Barajas. Tag at the plate, and Hudson strikes out. That would be the second strikeout for Clayton Kershaw. And the batter will be the shortstop, Willie Bloomquist, who grounded to short in the first inning. Bloomquist has hit in a season high 10-game hitting streak. He's hit 4 straight on the road. At shortstop, he's hit safely 39 out of 49. And he's a first. He is the first Arizona State University baseball player to play for the D-backs. Right-hand batter. Kershaw's pitch swung on, missed, dropped at the plate by Barajas. 0-1 the count. Parra holding at second base. Bloomquist in and out of the box. Now Willie back up there. For Bloomquist, he remembers his first big league home run. Swings, doesn't get it. Count 0-2. You'd remember it too. His first home run in the big leagues was a grand slam home run. He hit it for Seattle back in 2003. No balls and 2 strikes to Willie. 34 years old, out of the state of Washington. And the strike 2 pitch ground ball. Nice block and stop by Miles, who gets up and throws him out. So Aaron Miles makes a good play, preventing Parra from scoring. No runs, to hit a man left. The end of 2.5, 2-0 Dodgers. In the third inning than he did in the first 2 innings combined. He made 17 pitches in the first 2, 19 pitches in the third, gave up the double to Parra, however got out of the inning unscathed, and it's still 2-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the third, Matt Kemp leading off. Hudson deals, gets it in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. Matt Kemp single to left, went to second on the throw to the plate, got as far as third. And the strike one pitch misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Daniel Hudson trying to win his 17th. The 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Hudson is 1-0 against the Dodgers. The Dodger team batting average going into this game against Daniel Hudson was 121. Well, they got 2 runs on 4 hits in the first inning. The 1-2 pitch swung on, high fly ball to right, but playable. Going back a bit is Upton, but not to the track, and makes the catch for the out. So 1 away in the third. You know, this Saturday from 2 and 6 p.m., it's La Gran Fiesta, Viva Los Dodgers. That means music, food, games, and fun for the whole family. Presented by Coca-Cola, Hyundai, and Time Warner Cable. La Gran Fiesta free with your ticket to the game against the Pirates. For tickets, go to Dodgers.com/Viva. Well, here's Loney, hit back to the box in the first inning, 0 for 1. Hudson deals off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Loney waiting, has his average at 276 because he's been hitting over 380 for more than a month. 9 home runs, 52 runs batted in. Now the 2-0 pitch to James Loney is taken high and away, ball 3. Dan Hudson walked Miles in the first inning, and he's on an edge to Loney now, 3-0. Right-hander ready, and here he comes, and James takes low and inside, ball 4. So 1 out. Loney is aboard on the second pass. And the batter Miles, who walked in the first inning. Then Jerry Sands came up and singled off the glove of Willie Bloomquist. So Aaron backs out for the moment, looking down to Wallach before getting in. Aaron hitting .363 with runners on base, only .219 with the bases empty. Rather a remarkable difference. And the first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Miles, the switch hitter, playing a lot of third base now that Casey Blake went down with the neck surgery. Aaron, overall batting average .282, 3 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Here's the strike 1 pitch. Instead, a throw to first. Loney back on the bag. James doesn't steal very many, but every now and then he'll pick your pocket. And Loney is 3 for 3 in stolen bases, held on by Paul Goldschmidt. Hudson out of a stretch. Now the strike 1 pitch to Aaron Miles. That's popped up. It will be the second baseman, Aaron Hill, out on the grass waiting, and makes the catch for the second out. So Miles pops it up, and the batter will be Jerry Sands.
Number 47, Jerry Sands.
Remember now, Sands has been on base 7 straight times. Going back to the other night, Jerry hitting .219. He has 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He's had a big series, 6 for 7 with a couple of walks and 3 runs batted in. Hudson ready and delivers. Jerry takes a strike, and the count 0-1. This for Jerry Sands is his 7th start. 5 in left, and for the second time in right field. The strike 1 pitch, check swing foul, 0-2 the count. You may remember they called Jerry up. He struggled, and they sent him back to AAA on the 9th of June. He spent his time at Albuquerque, making adjustments in his swing, and it seems certainly to have paid off once he begins to relax at home plate. 0-2 the count to Jerry Sands. Throw to first. Loney back on the bag. Daniel Hudson with a record of 16-9, 1-0 against the Dodgers this year, 2-0 lifetime. The strike 2 pitch on the way. Sands looks, it's off the plate. 1-2 the count. Dodgers 2, D-backs nothing. Bottom of the third inning. For Hudson, bothered a little bit by one of the things we told you before the game really got underway. Sands takes high. Montero through first, not in time. Loney diving back. Miguel with a good arm. We mentioned the fact that the leadoff hitter, whoever it is, against Daniel Hudson, the leadoff hitter in each inning is hitting over 300. Well, tonight so far, Gordon led off the first inning with an infield single. Carroll led off the second inning with a base hit. Check swing to Sands, and it's a called strike 3. So no runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left. And at the end of 3, Dodgers 2, D-backs nothing. Working harder than Clayton Kershaw. However, after 3 innings, ball game very much up in the air with the Dodgers leading 2-0. With Kershaw, no walks and 2 strikeouts. And for Dan Hudson, 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Clayton Kershaw will be pitching to Aaron Hill, Justin Upton, and then Paul Goldschmidt. If anybody gets on, Miguel Montero. Aaron Hill grounded to third in the first inning. You may remember the left-hand hitting second baseman Kelly Johnson. He played with Arizona and was dealt to the Toronto Blue Jays. John McDonald and Aaron Hill came to Arizona in the deal, and Hill takes a strike. The count 0-1. Aaron Hill out of Visalia. Little foul. Hill has some sock. He's 5'11", maybe 200 pounds, but he had 36 home runs 2 years ago for Toronto, 26 home runs last year. He has 1 with Arizona, and he had a half a dozen with the Blue Jays prior to the trade. Slow breaking ball, 1-2. He was a first-round pick. Although he lives in Visalia, he went to school at LSU. Fastball got him. inside corner. Hill doesn't say anything, walks away. That would be the third strikeout for Clayton Kershaw. Fastball had a little sink at the end of it, so by the time Barajas caught it, it was below the knees of Hill. But going through the strike zone, Bill Welke said it was in there. So now Justin Upton, who is 0 for 17 against Clayton Kershaw with 7 strikeouts. A multi-talented player, having a marvelous year, and he's going to have a lot of them before he's through. That's for sure. Upton will also be playing with the D-backs for a while. Little hopper, he cracked his bat. Miles will blow him out. He is signed through 2015, and he is now 0 for 18 against Clayton Kershaw. So with 2 out, Paul Goldschmidt coming up. I don't imagine there's another pitcher in the league to dominate Justin Upton like Clayton Kershaw. So 2 out. Paul Goldschmidt struck out in the second inning. 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. They picked them up in the first inning. The D-backs, when they came here, were behind in the first game 1-0 and had a 5-run 6th inning, and that gave Kirk Gibson the club's 43rd comeback victory. So the fact they're down 2-0 and we're just in the 4th inning doesn't mean too much. Strike 1-2. You know, we mentioned Kirk Gibson and the fact that the D-backs enjoyed that 15-game winning streak at home when Kirk was playing for the Detroit Tigers in 1984. The Tigers won 17 straight on the road on their way to the World Championship. That's strike 3, breaking ball. So down goes Goldschmidt. 4 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw, and at the end of 3.5, 2-0 Dodgers. Dodger Baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by El Pollo Loco. Now for only $5, get one of 5 tasty combos. They're the combos other combos wish they could be. Catch them before they're gone. By your local Mazda dealers. And by Time Warner Cable. 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers, bottom of the 4th inning. Clayton Kershaw made only 9 pitches. He's had 2 innings like that. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. Diamondbacks, no runs, 1 hit. Rod Barajas, Jamie Carroll, and Clayton Kershaw. Barajas hit a ground ball in the first inning. That was news. This time a one-hopper, and oh, what a nice play by Robin Roberts, who throws him out. Boy, that ball was crushed. Roberts has really not only swung a big bat against the Dodgers, he made some wonderful plays down there at third. Last night he turned in a gem against Justin Sellers, and the night before he turned in a dazzling play against Jamie Carroll. Ryan Roberts out of Fort Worth, and worth a lot. One away. Here's Carroll, single to center. Jamie hitting .289, and ball one. D-backs have beaten the Dodgers 9 out of 14. What has really hurt the Dodgers, the D-backs have won 6 of the 8 here at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers split 6 over in Arizona. 1-2 the count to Jamie Carroll. Jamie doesn't have any home runs. He does have 5 triples. 1-2. And he slaps it foul. In case you joined us late in the first inning, Gordon hit a little roller for a base hit up along third. Tony Gwynn a drag bunt single. They tried the double steal, but Gordon was nailed at third. Gwynn was safe at second, and Kemp singled him home for a run. Then with Kemp going to second on the throw to the plate, trying to get Gwynn, eventually Sands singled off Bloomquist's glove. Matt watching as the run came over, and down goes Carroll. So 2 down in the fourth. Clayton Kershaw, as we take a second look, Clayton Kershaw's earned run average right now as he checks in at the plate is 2.32. That's lower than his batting average. His batting average is .239. Right. Clayton was asked to bunt and got the bunt down for his 9th sacrifice in the second inning. 0-1. 0-2. I don't know why I thought about it, talking about his earned run average and everything else. 0-2 the count. And that's fouled at the plate. Remember Jose Rio? He pitched for the Cincinnati Reds. He had a divorce with his wife. And he said in court, if I give up 6 runs, she ought to be charged with 3 of them because she takes half of everything else I make. Well, here's the strike 2 pitch, swung on, and that'll do it for Clayton. Get to talking about earned run averages and everything else. And at the end of 4, 2-0 Dodgers. The question, who are the only 4 pitchers since Sandy Koufax to lead the National League in wins, earned run average, and strikeouts in the same year? Only 4. Clayton right now is first in strikeouts, second in earned run average, tied for second in wins. In the 5th inning, Miguel Montero tried to bunt for a base hit and bunted it right back to Kershaw. Montero is 2 for 10 against Kershaw. Breaking ball strike. 0-1. Check swing didn't make any difference. 0-2 the count. Montero, 16 home runs. That's a career high that tied. However, 80 RBIs. He's way out in front. Ball 1. Montero, the all-star catcher in the National League representing Arizona. 2 years ago, he got the Good Guy Award. The media presented it to him. Very pleasant fella. 1-2. He's from Venezuela. The one thing about Montero, he is a much tougher hitter against right-hand pitching. He's hitting over 300 against right-handers, maybe 175 or thereabouts against left-handers. 2-2. Fouled away. Miguel Montero from Caracas. He has 18 RBIs between the 7th and the 9th innings. So he's a clutch hitter. Ground ball to Loney. James will backhand and take it. So 1 away here in the 5th inning. For Kershaw, so far he's allowed 2 fly balls. Chris Young a fly ball to left. Ryan Roberts a fly ball to right. So here's Young. Chris out of Houston, Texas. He's had a lot of trouble here, as those numbers would tell you. Ball 1. However, 86% of his RBIs have come in Arizona victories. He rarely hits the ball on the ground. Two and 0. He's a lot like Rod Barajas. Last we checked, he was first in the league in popping up pop flies on the infield. Line drive, foul. 2-1. Chris, 6'2", 185, just turned 28. He signed through 2013. Ball 3. Three and 1 to Young. 1 out, 5th inning. 2-0 Dodgers. And line drive backhanded by Miles. So Aaron Miles saved a run in the 3rd inning with Parra at second base and a hard ground ball by Bloomquist. Now he takes an extra base hit away from Chris Young. So Aaron doing a good job down there, and Ryan Roberts coming up. Each third baseman have turned in a couple of fine plays. Miles and Roberts. That's a strike. Roberts fly to right field back in the third inning. In the dirt. Ryan Roberts, with quite a few tattoos obviously on his body. One of them is rather inspirational. It's on his left arm. He has his initials RR, and above that in cursive, "Only the strong survive." 1-1 to Ryan. 1-2. Ryan will be 31 in September. From Fort Worth, went to the University of Texas Arlington. Lives in North Richland Hills in the Lone Star State. 2-2. One of the things Roberts has done is give the Diamondbacks a lift. He has 18 home runs. 8 of them have been hit when the Diamondbacks were behind in the game. They're behind 2-0 here. And down he goes on that curveball. Public enemy number one, as Roy Campanella called it. Roberts becomes Kershaw's 5th victim. It's still 2-0. Clayton Kershaw making 16 pitches through 5, a total of 61. That would put him on a pace to go 9 and make 108 pitches. Well, right now he's allowed just 1 hit. That was the double by Gerard O'Para in the 3rd inning. There's got to be some justice in there somewhere. So as Clayton rests, the Dodgers will have Gordon, Gwynn, and Kemp. 0-1 to D. Gordon hit a ball about 45-50 feet for a base hit up along third in the 1st inning. Hitting .269, 8 runs batted in. No balls, 2 strikes. Just puts the bat on the ball to stay alive. When the Dodgers were on that road trip, Gordon did very well, but right now Hudson trying to keep him off the base paths. Ball 1. On the recent road trip, Gordon hit .386, but he has really cooled off. 1 for 10 during the homestand, now 2 for 12. Popped up. It will be Bloomquist. One away. Of course, for Gordon, anytime he hits a ball in the air, that's a mistake. He wants to kill some worms with his speed. But he pops it up, and that'll bring up Tony Gwynn. A drag bunt single, and then Tony flied to left, 1 for 2. Gwynn, who has done a great job coming off the bench, now getting a start. 0-1 the count. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. 2-0 Dodgers. And for Dan Hudson, he's doing a little bit of a turnabout like Ian Kennedy did last night. Ground ball smothered by Goldschmidt for the 2nd out. Nice play by the big first baseman. 2 down. Last night, you may remember, Ian Kennedy gave up 4 runs and 5 hits in the 1st inning and allowed just 1 other hit in the 4th and 1 more in the 6th. He went out, and eventually the D-backs won it. Daniel Hudson, since the 1st inning, has allowed just 1 hit. He's retired 8 in a row. And here's Matt Kemp. Single to left, drive in a run, fly to right. Matt also scored a run on the base hit by Sands. So Kemp hitting .316, 33 home runs, 110 runs batted in, and he's also scored 98 runs. So he has been vitally involved in every department. Then you add to that 38 stolen bases, and it has been a marvelous season for Matt Kemp. One and 2 to Matt. Kemp, like so many of the other players involved in the game tonight, he has a birthday in September. Matt will be 27 on the 23rd. And down he goes. So Daniel Hudson is really back on the beam now. He's retired 8 in a row, but the Dodgers still lead at the end of 5, 2-0. Dodger catcher Mike Piazza had a big day. He had a lot of them. He had 2 home runs, numbers 29 and number 30. That broke a record for home runs by a rookie catcher. That was established by Matt Noakes of Detroit at 28 in 1993. Mike didn't stop at 30. He wound up with 35. Let's go back to this one. Two to nothing in favor of the Dodgers. And here's Gerardo Parra. and a strike. 0-1. Parra, a line drive double to left center. Pretty good at bat because Kershaw had him 0-2. Then it went to 2-2, and then he doubled, and whoa! By hitting Parra, they're going to throw Kershaw out of the game. Holy mackerel! The plate umpire is Bill Welke. That ball hit him in the elbow, says Barajas. Oh my gosh. We wondered about what would happen tonight. Kershaw going for his 19th, and Parra, the hitter, who doubled. And now Clayton nails him, and he is kicked out of the game. You might wonder, Kershaw has now hit 3. Mattingly is livid. Barajas was the first to really holler. That would have hit him on the elbow. And Welke interpreted and said it was intentional. Of course, that was the cloud over this ball game, and there was a lot of pressure, not on Parra, but then whoop! Now Mattingly's been kicked out. Well, that figures. What a frustrating night. Here is Kershaw. He's pitching a one-hitter in pursuit of his 19th victory, and he gets kicked out because Kershaw has a pitch hit Gerardo Parra. The umpires naturally came into this game thinking about would there be retaliation, and I assume they jumped to that conclusion. Bill Welke is a veteran umpire, been in the big leagues over 12 years. So that is amazing, and what a twist. Kershaw, and there's one consolation. Kershaw went the required 5 innings. So even though he's been kicked out of the game at the start of the 6th, he could still win his 19th. So Clayton Kershaw and the manager, Don Mattingly, kicked out. Let's back up a little bit. We'll take a look at what really started it when Gerardo Parra faced Quo and took a fastball right at the head. And then he came back with a home run and kind of walked away, slowly took his way around looking at Quo, finally looked back and hollered, he and A.J. Ellis. Then Kershaw hollering, "You'll find out, you'll find out." Well, the umpires were watching all of that. So coming into the game, this is what they see, and it hit Parra on the elbow. On the elbow, and that's what Barajas said. When you're going to drill somebody, you expect to drill him in the back or in the ribs, I guess. But Barajas' point was, if it didn't hit the elbow, it would have been awfully close to the plate. Don Mattingly arguing with Bill Welke. We are all human, and of course the umpires were set up from last night, without a doubt. So when this game started tonight, I'm sure even in the dressing room, they were saying, now we have to be very careful. Kershaw put on a show last night, hollering at Parra. He pitched to him, and Parra doubled in the 3rd inning. And then when he hits him, Kershaw's been kicked out of the game. So Bill Welke will go over to talk to Gibson. We've got some time, and we'll be right back. who did go the required 5. Couple of numbers for Gerardo Parra. That's only the second time this year that he's been hit by a pitch. For Clayton Kershaw, it's only the third time this year that he has hit a batter. Meanwhile, Trey Hillman, the bench coach, now has to take over. Trey taking over for Don Mattingly, who accordingly was kicked out along with Clayton Kershaw. Again, as we said, the only consolation for Kershaw and the Dodgers, the fact that Clayton went the required 5 and could still win his 19th. But it's somewhat of a bizarre ball game now, even for the Dodgers. And again, coming to the ballpark, I think everybody who came here tonight was well aware of what had happened last night. And I mean, including the umpires. So Gibson knew, Trammell knew, Parra certainly knew. And again, they all remembered, I'm sure, Kershaw hollering out of the dugout, "You'll find out, you'll find out." So when Parra doubles in the third inning, he's then hit on the elbow here in the 6th. As Barajas said, the pitch was close to the plate. It wasn't the pitch you would throw at a hitter. But of course, then you go back to, well, what about the pitch to Quo? Was that a pitch that he let go at Farah? Was that a pitch you don't throw normally? So the stage was certainly set for it psychologically, and sure enough, it came to pass. 6th inning, here's Parra. He's doubled, and the pitch inside gets him on the elbow, and there was no doubt in the mind of Bill Welker. He's out. You have been kicked out of the game. Meanwhile, Barajas appealing. Mattingly gets kicked out, and Clayton Kershaw still has a chance to win his 19th. So Clayton is gone. Mattingly is gone. It's 2-0 Dodgers. However, now Parra is at first, nobody out. Daniel Hudson coming up, and Kershaw angry and leaves the dugout. Kershaw hollering to the plate umpire, "You got to let me pitch," but nope, he's gone. So Josh Lindblom, big boy out of Lafayette, Indiana. Well, Lafayette, we are here. 6'5", 240. 27 years old. Went to Purdue. So the Boilermaker is here pitching to Daniel Hudson with Parra at first. Gerardo Parra, by the way, has stolen 12 out of 13. I mean, he's quite a player. The fans don't like him, but he's something. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. No runs. Parra's double, the only hit for the D-backs. Hudson shows bunt. Bunts it foul. Barajas couldn't get there. 0-1 the count. Hudson, by the way, has sacrificed 11 times. He also had that home run against Ted Lilly. Good hitter. Matt Williams flashing out the sign from long distance, well beyond the third base coaching box. Now he's back reasonably close. 0-1. On deck, Willie Bloomquist. Gerardo Parra last night stole second in the first inning. 12 out of 13. And the bunt fouled. 0-2. Clayton Kershaw, by the way, in his 5 innings, made 63 pitches. Daniel Hudson, through 5, has made 81. Matt's hung out the sign. So we'll see now. Will they have Hudson swing away and take the bunt off? No balls, 2 strikes. He's showing bunt again. Dodgers coming to the plate, and it's off the plate. took that bat back to take a hack at it. 1-2. I'll say one thing about last night's game and tonight's game. It's the most life that we've had in the ballpark in quite a while. Quite a while. One and two. He's showing bunt. You have to keep an eye on Parra. Parra has done a lot of running this year. He had 5 stolen bases and 1 stolen base last year. Here he is, 12 out of 13. The bunt in the air, and so Hudson has struck out. So Lindblom takes care of Hudson, 1 away, and now Lindblom against Bloomquist.
Shortstop Willie Bloomquist.
So here's Willie ready to check in. Bloomquist 2 years ago had arthroscopic surgery on both knees at the same time. One surgical swoop, kind of a 2-for-1 sale. And a strike. 0-1. Josh Lindblom has not allowed a home run in his young major league career. The opposition hitting .210 against him, and right-handers hitting .158. 0-1. Fouled, and that's got the plate umpire. Bill Welke has heard it all. Bill and brother Tim. No balls and 2 strikes. Behind that mask, whatever Baraja said, Bill Welke grinned. 0-2 the count to Bloomquist with Aaron Hill on deck. Got him. Bloomquist says something, and Welke takes it as long as he keeps the mask on. So Bloomquist called out on strikes. So after Parra was hit by Kershaw, Kershaw was banished from the game. Josh Lindblom strikes out Hudson, now strikes out Bloomquist, who's very unhappy, and Aaron Hill at the plate. Hill grounded to third, struck out. He has 1 home run with Arizona, but in looking at his past, he was certainly a dangerous hitter with Toronto. Josh Lindblom has not worked a lot against Arizona. He has not faced Hill. 2-0 Dodgers, 6th inning, 0-1. A tough assignment for Lindblom. He's sitting quietly in the bullpen. He hadn't touched a ball. All of a sudden, the rhubarb involving Parra, the ejection of Kershaw and Mattingly, and he is summoned with a man aboard and nobody out. And the man aboard is Parra, who's going to try to steal if he gets an opening. You can bet. Little foul out of play. So Aaron Hill 0-2. Lindblom with 2 strikeouts tonight. So he has 20 strikeouts, 9 walks. So he's been right around the plate. Parra again trying to find an opening. And a little foul. Loney will not have a play. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. They picked them up in the first inning. Arizona has 1 hit with 1 out in the third inning. Gerardo Parra doubled the left center. Now hit by a pitch at first. So I guess in a sense he knocked out Kershaw. 0-2. In the dirt, nice save by Barajas. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Aaron Hill. Interesting, the pitching tonight for Kershaw and Lindblom. The Diamondbacks have had 20 batters come to the plate so far. 10 of them have been behind in the count, 0-2. 10 of the 20. This count is 1-2 now. Check and swing. Kind of a private call by Tim Tashita. Wow. He barely brought that hand up. So Parra will go back to the quiet of left field, and it's still 2-0 Dodgers. Even on a base hit to left field by Matt Kemp. Gerardo, with 11 assists, comes up, throws a dart to home plate. However, the tag attempt is a little late as Gwynn's left hand finds the plate before Montero can get the tag on. A great effort by Parra, great head slide by Tony Gwynn, and the Dodgers lead 2-0, bottom of the 6th inning. Lindblom coming in, turns in a masterful inning with a dozen pitches and winds up striking out the side. So Tony Gwynn talking to Rod Barajas as James Loney checks in. Loney, Miles, and Sands, bottom of the 6th inning, and the Dodgers leading 2-0. Loney hit back to the box and walked. So last night, Ian Kennedy pitched very well after the first inning, but it was too late for him, and he did not get his 20th win. Loney pops it up. Tonight, Clayton Kershaw is turning in a gem for 5 innings. He struck out 5, allowed 1 hit, only to hit Parra and be kicked out of the game. But his quest for 19 is still alive. Well, remember the question we had? Who are the only 4 pitchers since Sandy Koufax to lead the National League in wins, ERA? And here they are: Steve Carlton, Dwight Gooden, Randy Johnson, and Jake Peavy. That's a strike to Miles, 0-1. You know, and talking about Sandy Koufax, he is one of 2 Dodgers ever to win the pitching Triple Crown. little pop fly. Bloomquist is there, and quickly 2 out. Koufax did it 3 times, 1963, 65, and 66. Dazzy Vance did it way back in 1924. Talking about records of some kind, if you look over in the Arizona dugout, you'll see Kirk Gibson and Alan Trammell. Alan Trammell to Kirk's right, both hands on the railing. Allen and Lou Whitaker set a record in Detroit. They were the first second base combination, Trammell and Whitaker, to play together for 10 consecutive years. And that is certainly a rarity. Dodgers, remember, had the infield, Garvey, Lopes, Russell, and Say for a little more than 8 years. But Trammell and Whitaker, 10 straight years. That's off the plate. 2-1 the count to Jerry Sands. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. They got 2 runs and 4 hits in the first inning, and they've had just 1 hit since. Ground ball to the left. Bloomquist is on it, and that'll be that. Couple of pop flies. So for Hudson, just like Kennedy, he has been dynamite after the first inning, but he's still trailing 2-0. In the third inning, he has been exceptional following the first inning. It's a question of whether the D-backs can come up with their 44th come from behind victory, and they'll have Upton, Goldschmidt, and Montero in that order. Well, Upton went 0 for 2, so he has to be very happy that Kershaw is not in the game. Upton is 0 for 18 against Clayton Kershaw, but now he's looking at Lindblom, and ball 1. Upton 0 for 2 against the Dodger right-hander, who is backed up in the bullpen now with Scott Elbert and Mike McDougall. 1 ball and no strikes. That's a strike. 1-1. Basically, with Lindblom, fastball, curve, slider. Started throwing a cutter last year, and he has a straight change. 1-1. Two and 1. Justin Upton batting .294, 30 home runs, 86 runs batted in. and popped in the air. Loney coming over might have a play. Does have a play. So Upton is not only 0 for 3. The Dodgers have really thrown a blanket over him. He's hitting about 125 against the Dodgers, and he's one of the top players in the league. So 1 away, and the batter will be Paul Goldschmidt, who has struck out twice. All the scoring in the first inning when the Dodgers scored 2. Fouled away. In the game tonight, with all of the other angles, you have 2 fellas who lead the league in runs scored. Justin Upton, who has scored 100, and Matt Kemp, who scored in the first inning, has 98. One and one the count. Goldschmidt hitting .254. 1 and 2. Paul out of Texas, went to school at Texas State. Dodgers originally drafted him in the 49th round, but he opted to go to Texas State. He's 6'3", but not when he gets in the box. In the dirt, down and away. Nice save again by Barajas. 2 and 2 the count. So Josh Lindblom trying to bring some serenity in the midst of the storm, and all he did was strike out the side in the 6th inning. That was quite a performance. 2 and 2. And Goldschmidt strikes out for the 3rd time. Miguel Montero tried to bunt tonight for a base hit, but that was against Clayton Kershaw. Bunt was not on his mind in the 1st inning last night against Chad Billingsley, and he took him downtown for a 2-run home run. For Montero, tying a career high in home runs with 16, but he's really jumped out in RBIs. Miguel with 80. And ball 1. Montero was helped a great deal in the minor leagues by Johnny Bench's backup catcher, Bill Plummer, who was the catcher behind Hall of Famer Johnny Bench. Did a lot to work with Montero. Helped him with just about everything. Bill Plummer, according to Montero, would get mad at him, would yell at him. Seemed like he was really mean, but I just needed to grow up and be a man. Well, he has certainly done that. Miguel Montero. 2-0. And probably bangs it into left center for a base hit. Went over to cut it off. So that'll bring up Chris Young with Montero at first, 2 out in the 7th inning.
Number 24, Chris.
That is the 2nd hit for Arizona. First hit of Lindblom. Young is flied to left, grounded to 3rd. Trey Hillman talking to Rick Honeycutt. And Honey heading for the phone. Young is hitting only .229. We talked about him early. He does have 20 home runs, but he has struck out 126 times, so he's feast or famine. Ball 1. Young, no matter what, a threat. He had 32 home runs a couple of years ago. He had 27 home runs last year with 91 runs batted in. Interesting thing about Young, about how he can hurt you. His rookie year brought up a point. Did he? No, he didn't. 2-0 the count to Young. In August of his rookie year, he stole home on the front end of a double steal. He was the first rookie in National League history to have 20 homers, 20 stolen bases, and the 8th to accomplish that. The last, Carlos Beltran, who, by the way, had a big day today for the Giants. That's a strike. Beltran hit 2 home runs today. That gave him 300 in his career. And as Beltran from a little town in Puerto Rico, and he said that's a lot of home runs for a guy from a little town. A lot of home run from anybody, from anywhere. 2-1 the count to Chris Young. Two and two. Two outs, 7th inning. Dodgers 2, D-backs nothing. Lindblom struck out the side in the 6th. He has his 4th strikeout and working on number 5 with Young. Got him. Breaking ball. So for Josh Lindblom, a hero coming out of the bullpen, and he strikes out 5 in 2 innings, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Quite a performance from Josh Lindblom. Comes in with the storm and proceeds to strike out 5 in 2 innings. He allowed 1 hit, a single by Montero. Meanwhile, Daniel Hudson has retired 11 in a row as Lindblom rests. And the Dodgers will have Barajas, Carroll, and Kershaw. And, of course, in the 8th inning, it will be Ryan Roberts and then Gerardo Parra, followed by Hudson or a pinch hitter. Rod Barajas hit into a force play, grounded to third. For 2 ground balls from Barajas, that's quite a night. He fouls this away, 0-1. Rod hitting .233, 15 home runs, 43 runs batted in. In the Dodger bullpen, hard throwing Nathan Eovaldi begins to warm up. Javi Guerra will not appear. Remember, Javi was used 3 straight. He had the nail problem, although Don Mattingly said before the game he didn't think the nail had anything to do with the wildness last night. Barajas lifting a fly ball, which is certainly more of his specialty, to Parra, 1 away. And that'll bring up Jamie Carroll. 12 in a row retired by Daniel Hudson. And for Hudson and the D-backs, the question is the horse down the road? Trent Olson comes out of the Dodger dugout, and he will bat for Lindblom. Jamie Carroll singled to center and struck out. That's a strike to Jamie. Lindblom made 29 pitches while striking out 5. That evens it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's hit in the air to center. Young going back to get it. He's at the other end of it. And we have 2 down here in the 7th inning. 13 in a row retired by Daniel Hudson. You know, the Coca-Cola Value Pack is available for Wednesday and Sunday Dodger home games. It includes 4 tickets, 4 Dodger dogs, 4 Cokes, and for all applicable games in September, you'll also receive a Don Mattingly bobblehead with every ticket, all starting at $20 per seat. For more information, go to Dodgers.com/specials. So Trent Olson coming up to pinch hit now for Josh Lindblom. Olson 4 for 20 coming off the bench. And ball 1. So Eovaldi will be pitching to Roberts, Parra, and we'll see about Hudson in the 8th. And that's ball 2. Hudson's troubles were when he was following form and had trouble with the leadoff man in each of the first 2 innings. But he has certainly turned it around since. 2-0. And ball 3. Missing with a changeup. On deck, D. Gordon. Three and 0. And he walks him. So Trent Olson comes off the bench, gets a walk. Olson, by the way, does a very good job. He is 6 for 6 in stolen bases. So Trent held on by Goldschmidt. And the batter, D. Gordon. Well, this is one of those times with 2 out and the leadoff hitter up He could be running. If you get him all right, then you start the next inning with your leadoff hitter. And he had a pretty good lead. Balk called on Daniels. Yep. Bill Welke lifted his right knee, so Hudson in trying to keep an eye, and the balk is called. See, the knee looked like the forward motion would be towards home plate, and he threw the first. For Hudson, that would be his first balk. So Olchen now at second, and Gordon trying to pick him up. In there. Gordon had that slow rolling base hit up along the third base line, rounded to short and popped up since. 1 for 3. On deck, Tony Gwynn. Right side of the infield is deep. However, Roberts is up on the grass at third. 1 ball and 1 strike. Naturally, with D's speed, you're always thinking about a bunt. 1-1. Dodgers 2, D-backs nothing, bottom of the 7th. Little nubber back to the box, and that'll be that. So they leave Olchen at second. Meanwhile, Hudson's going out to talk to the second base umpire about the balk, and it's 2-0 Dodgers. And last night really set the mood for tonight. If you remember last night, Hung Chi Po pitched right at the head of Gerardo Parra, who then followed not only with a home run, took his time going around the base paths, kept looking over at Quo. Then A.J. Ellis had something to say, but more than that, Clayton Kershaw hollering, "You'll find out." Well, after Parra had doubled in the third, Parra is hit on the elbow by Kershaw, who is thrown out by plate umpire Bill Welke, and he keeps hollering, does Kershaw, "You have got to let me pitch. You've got to let me pitch." And Bill Welke felt, no, despite the fact you're trying to win your 19th, you've gone 5 innings, you hit a man, and you're history. And, of course, Don Mattingly was kicked out alongside of him. However, the only bright spot for Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers, he does have a chance of winning his 19th. He went the required 5, even though he hit Parra. And then a great relief job by Josh Lindblom to come in, pitch 2 innings, strike out 5, make 29 pitches, and now give the ball to Nathan Eovaldi. Ryan Roberts at the plate. And a strike. On deck, Gerardo Parra. So Parra, who has doubled and been hit by a pitch, Roberts has flied to right and struck out. Off the plate, and just does find the corner, and the count 0-2. Roberts batting .251, 18 home runs, 55 runs batted in. And ball one. Daniel Hudson went 7, or has gone 7. Made 101 pitches. And that's going to be hit to right. Coming in, over, diving, and unable to make the play is Sands. Roberts will go to second. They'll hold him there. The Jerry Sands trying to make the catch, couldn't do it. And Roberts at second, and here comes Parra. Take another look at Sands' effort. Gerardo Parra in the third inning in his first at bat against Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw had him 0-2, then it went 2-2, and then Parra promptly doubled to left center. And then in the sixth inning, Gerardo came up and he was hit on the elbow. Because he was hit on the elbow, Rod Barajas kept appealing for Clayton Kershaw, saying to Bill Welke, it hit him on the elbow. It wasn't the kind of a pitch where you would try to nail the hitter. But preconceived notion, perception, it was set for that, and it came to be. Parra, the double tonight, got him to 300 with 8 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Roberts at second, nobody out. Pickoff play, almost a throw into center. Nice save by Gordon. Coming out on deck, the switch hitter, Jeff Blum. So Blum will bat for Hudson. No balls and 1 strike to count. And that's going to go foul off third down the line. Well back out of play. 0-2 the count. Gerardo Parra. He's from Venezuela, Santa Barbara del Zulia. An even 6, about 195. Only 24 years old. In the last 3 innings of his games this year, he's been hitting .311. Last night he homered in the 7th and singled in the 10th. And in the game before, he had 2 doubles late in the game. So he has certainly followed all of the notes that we have on him about producing in the last 3 innings. Signed by the Diamondbacks as a free agent 7 years ago, and he came up 2 years ago. Parra in 07 and 08. The Diamondbacks felt that he was their best pure hitter in the organization. And he hit a home run, wouldn't you know, in his first major league at bat. That was back in 2009. He homered against Cincinnati's Johnny Cueto in Arizona. 1-2 to count to Gerardo Parra. Well, Nathan Eovaldi following Kershaw and Lindblom. One and two to Parra. 2-2. Jeff Blum waiting on deck. 2-2. Foul back. Oh, Parra still battling. When he hit his first major league home run in his first at bat, it was the third pitch. And he hits a high drive into deep right field. Back goes Sands to the wall, makes the catch. And over to third goes Roberts. Jerry Sands going to the wall, and Gerardo Parra just missed, hitting his fourth home run in his fourth game at Dodger Stadium to right field. This close. So Sands makes a wonderful play. A runner at third now with one out. It's the first time tonight that the D-backs have had a runner at third, and now Rick Honeycutt going out to talk about Jeff Blum. So Sands, who made the diving try and couldn't catch the ball by Roberts, goes to the wall to catch the drive by Parra. So Roberts at third. Gerardo got a lot of fives in the dugout. Another tough at bat for him. Meanwhile, Jeff Blum. Jeff Blum, a switch hitter, and he'll be coming up with a runner at third and one out. Blum was signed by the Expos 17 years ago. You go back to 1994. They got him out of the University of California at Berkeley. He was born in Redwood City, makes his home in San Clemente. He's had a long career. 0-1. And looking at Blum's numbers, he's been banged up, so he has spent the year at Reno and Scottsdale, but he still only had 30 at bats. He's 8 for 22 hitting left-handed. 0-1. 0-2. Evaldi throwing hard, hits 95 on the gun. No balls, 2 strikes. Fouled right into the dugout. Almost got the bat boy down in the corner of the well. Went right by Aaron Hill. Didn't go near the players. Still 0-2 the count to Jeff Blum. With the Astros last year, he's been with a lot of clubs. Expos, Devil Rays, Padres, White Sox, Astros, and now Arizona. 0-2. Ball 1. Evaldi throwing hard, does not have a wild pitch. 1 out. Roberts at third. 2-0 Dodgers. Top of the 8th. And that's going to be looped over second base. Fielded by Gordon to get him. However, scoring is Ryan Roberts. So Blum sounded like he cracked the bat, so the ball died going up the middle. If the bat doesn't break, that might very well have been a base hit. So it is 2-1 in favor of the Dodgers here in the 8th inning. 2 out, and Willie Bloomquist grounded to short, lost a hit on a good play in the 3rd inning by Aaron Miles, and struck out to his disbelief in the 6th. Willie 0 for 3, hitting .267. Ball 1. Bloomquist 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers, 1 run, 3 hits for the D-backs. Chasing a bad ball, 1-1 to count to Bloomquist. Nathan trying to hold on to this one for Clayton Kershaw. Ball 2. Arizona 26-15 in one-run games, but they dominate at home. They're under 500 in one-run games on the road. The Dodgers in one-run games are one game above 500, but they are 14-7 at home. 2-1 the count, 2-1 the score. Ground ball to the right side. Jamie has it, and that'll do it. However, in the 8th inning, the D-backs get close. Might have been closer except for that wonderful catch by Gary Sands, and it's 2-1 Dodgers. TBS. The excitement begins September 30th with the Division Series on TBS. Push against shove. The Dodgers and the D-backs, with the Dodgers leading 2-1. And right-hander Ryan Cook out of Clovis, California, coming in. Went to USC and 3 years ago was drafted by the Diamondbacks. This his first year. Graduate of Clovis High. He had a baseball scholarship to USC. Signed with the D-backs. And here he is. Basically, fastball, a two-seam sinker, and a pretty good slider. So far, Cook's work 0-1. He's allowed 4 earned runs in 4 innings, so that gives him an ERA of 9. And he has 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. Remember, the D-backs used Ziegler, Hernandez, Owings, and Putz last night. Patterson, Shaw, Castillo, and Putz in the first game. And that's a strike. Tony Gwynn had a drag bunt single, scored a run, fly to left, grounded to first. Really, Gwynn's speed would be the difference in the game, because Parra made a great throw on the ball hit into left field for a base hit by Kemp, and only someone who can run as well as Gwynn would have beaten that throw. Down he goes. So Ryan Cook begins the 8th inning by striking out Gwynn. Good movement on that fastball, and the batter now will be Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp, single to left field, just did score Gwynn. Then he flied to right and struck out. Nathan Eovaldi, by the way, in pitching the 8th inning, made 20 pitches. And that's ball 1 to Matt Kemp. Matt hitting .316, 33 home runs, 110 runs batted in. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Kenley Jansen begins to warm up. Before the game, Don Mattingly said Javi, meaning Javi Guerra, is down tonight, and we'll see about Kenley. Well, he's in the pen and throwing. Now the crowd, of course, is hollering at Bill Welke. Throw him out with that fastball inside. 3-0 to Matt. And in there, Matt losing the Academy Award on that act. 3-1 to count. Matt, kind of a sheepish grin on his face. 1 out in the 8th, 2-1 Dodgers. And he walks in. When the Diamondbacks come up in the 9th inning, they will have Aaron Hill, Justin Upton, and Paul Goldschmidt. And if anybody gets on, Miguel Montero. So here's Loney with 1 out, Kemp at first. Matt Kemp has stolen 38 out of 47. Loney is 0 for 2 with a walk. And there goes Matt. That figured. Montero's throwing a bounce. Too late. 39 stolen bases for Matt Kemp. So now a little meeting at the mound with a runner at second and 1 out. You have Loney and Miles back to back, and Ryan Cook in a little trouble. Montero and the shortstop Bloomquist putting their heads together. Meanwhile, for Loney, dribbled the ball back to the box in the first inning, walked in the 3rd, and popped up in the 6th. The paid attendance tonight, 29,799. Seeing a terrific game marred only by the ejection of Clayton Kershaw. Fortunately, Clayton had five innings, though he could still get the win. Fouled away, 1-1. James hitting .275, 9 home runs, 52 runs batted in. Kemp with Bloomquist directly behind him, trying to take a step or two away from him. One ball and 1 strike. Fastball, but he missed. 93 on the gun. 2-1 to Loney. Ryan Cook, 24 years old. He's 6'3", 200, right-handed all the way. Two and two. Cook kind of hooks the ball. There's a lot of motion with that right arm and wrist. Two balls and 2 strikes. Kemp at second, 1 out. Bloomquist right back of him. Ball 3. The two-seamer missing the outside part of the plate. He goes all the way. Aaron Miles, who has walked and popped up 0 for 2 on deck. Bloomquist going to the bag. Very close. He's been bird dogging Kemp all the way. Three and 2 to Loney. 1 out. 8th inning, 2-1 Dodgers. In the dirt, check swing, ball 4. So the Dodgers now with 1 out have runners at first and second, and Aaron Miles coming up. Charles Nagy going out, the pitching coach for Arizona, to try and counsel Ryan Cook. As we said, Cook's been in a lot of trouble. He's allowed 7 hits in 4 innings prior to today. Add 4 walks and 7 hits in 4 innings, and you know he's been pitching out of the stretch. Now with 2 walks and 1 out, Aaron Miles 0 for 2, and Jerry Sands on deck. The side armor Brad Ziegler is down in the bullpen. Miles, of course, the switch hitter. He checks in left-handed, hitting .275 at the start of the game from this side of the plate. .307 right-handed. Put it all together, he's hitting .280. 3 home runs, 42 runs batted in. On deck, Jerry Sands. And a strike. 0-1. Boy, there's a lot of movement with Ryan Cook. That right arm can look like a strand of spaghetti in a windshield. It's just Reuben. 0-1. You have Kemp at second, Loney at first. Roberts shorting up. He's about even with the bag at third. Check swing foul. 0-2 the count to Aaron Miles. Miles, very much of a contact hitter. He's probably had about 450 plate appearances, and he has struck out 40 some odd times. With runners in scoring position, he's hitting .323 foul back, and he's up there now with 1 out. So just to complete the picture on Aaron Miles, with less than 2 outs and runners in scoring position, he is hitting .389. Well, he's got Kemp at second, Loney at first, 1 out. And he promptly does it again. Base hit to left. Here comes Parra's throw. Airmail to the backstop. The run scores, and there are runners at second and third. So Aaron Miles continues to produce. A line drive single to left field to cash in Kemp. And when Parra sails it over the plate to the pitcher packing up, there are runners at second and third, and the Dodgers lead 3-1. And Kirk Gibson on his way. Parra with 11 assists, but not close that time. So as Gibson makes the move, and it was a gamble to bring in Cook, and Miles does what he does so well, and we'll be back. He's hit, as we mentioned, hitting better than 380 in that position, and delivered a key base hit. Big smile for Matt Kemp, who came roaring around third base. Almost had a collision with Tim Wallach. I mean, he was flying, figuring, of course, that Parra might make a really good throw, but he didn't. For Kirk Gibson, it was a gamble. When you looked at Ryan Cook's numbers, you had to wonder why he'd be coming in a tough game, but the bullpen has had a workout in the series. And here's Brad Ziegler out of Pratt, Kansas, and Springfield, Missouri. Went to Southwest Missouri State. Infield has to play up. And here's Jerry Sands. Sands had that streak where he was on base 7 consecutive at-bats. Then he struck out in the third, grounded out in the sixth. Still one out, second and third, and that's ball one. 1-0 to Jerry. He has his average up to 216. Boy, he made a nice play on that ball hit by Gerardo Parra in the 8th inning. So 3-1 Dodgers, looking for more with one out. Slow breaking ball for ball two. Brad Ziegler grew up about 27 miles from Albert Pujols. They were rivals in high school. Later on in American Legion ball, they were teammates for all-star games. Snakes that thing in there. Ziegler was originally signed by the Phillies 8 years ago, but didn't make it with Philadelphia. He finally came up in 2008 with the A's. He was with them for 4 years, coming over here. Two and one. Big bounce to the first. The plate covered by Montero and the out. Loney had nowhere to go. Taking third is Miles. So Sands on a fielder's choice with Loney cut down 3-2. So now Rod Barajas with first and third, 2 out, a run in, and the Dodgers leading 3-1. By the way, when Matt Kemp scored the run, and he has scored 2 tonight, Matt has now scored 99 runs. Justin Upton leads at 100. Upton will bat second in the 9th inning. Barajas 15 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Jamie Carroll behind him. Big roundhouse curveball popped up, going out to get it is Hill, and makes it. Boy, if you ever get a jelly leg hitting against Brad Ziegler, it certainly would be understood. Dodgers get a run, and we go to the 9th, 3-1 Dodgers and Kenley Jansen. with the Dodgers leading 3-1 in the 9th inning. Couple of notes about Dodger pitchers tonight. Kershaw, Lindblom, Eovaldi. Dodger pitchers have really gone after the Arizona batters. There have been 28 Arizona batters through 8 innings. 13 of them had a no-ball, 2-strike count on them. So the Dodger hitters have challenged Arizona pitching, and Dodger pitching has challenged Arizona hitting. The good news from Kenley Jansen, he's only worked 47 innings and he has 80 strikeouts. The shaky news, in 47 innings, he's given up 24 walks. But the big man, he leads the majors. He's averaging, are you ready, over 15 strikeouts per 9 innings. It'll be Aaron Hill, Justin Upton, and Paul Goldschmidt. Hill is 0 for 3, grounded out, struck out twice. And we're in the 9th. Off the plate. Dodgers have 3 more with Arizona. They're the final 3 games of the season on the 26th, 27th, and 28th in Phoenix. And that'll be that. In there. Nice easy motion for a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1 to Aaron Hill. Little fly ball starting to slice. Here comes Sands. No chance. Jerry trying to slide into the wall and make the catch at the same time. Aaron Hill, 5'11". Certainly had some sock playing for the Blue Jays. He had 17 home runs. He had 36 home runs. He had 26 home runs last year. He has 1 home run since coming over, but he's only played 20 games. But his home runs had fallen off. He only had 6 with Toronto this year. 1-2. And that's sliced off the glove of Loney. I think he got just a tag on it. And so Hill opens up with a line drive single to right to go 1 for 4. Up the ladder goes Loney. Yep, just did get the leather to touch it, but that's all. So Hill at first, and here is Upton. Justin Upton is 0 for 3. He was 0 for 2 against Kershaw, so he's 0 for 18 against Kershaw. He's hitting about $1.25 against the Dodgers, but ever so dangerous with the 30 home runs. And he was looking for 31 on that pitch. That came up there at 95. Upton hitting .294. So Jansen just trying to put him away. Kershaw struck out 5. Lindblom struck out 5. So Arizona kind of reverting to the past when they would always lead the league in strikeouts. 0-2. Check. 1-2. Upton looking down at Matt Williams. %80 of Upton's RBIs have come in wins. Foul back. We gave you a note about Upton earlier. He's driven in 25 runs with 9 home runs from the 7th through the 9th inning. That makes him one tough hombre, despite the fact he strikes out a lot. He has struck out 116 times. He's got Hill at first, nobody out. Breaking ball, 2-2. Kenley Jansen, with his 80 strikeouts, has allowed 3 home runs. Two balls, 2 strikes. And got him. So Upton goes a very quiet 0 for 4. Does not hit the ball out of the infield. And he's caught right there. So Jansen picks up a strikeout. Upton had a very, very long series against the Dodgers. He was 0 for 4, 1 for 5, and 0 for 4. 1 for 13. Here's Goldschmidt. He's had a long game. He struck out all 3 times. And a strike. So 11 D-backs have struck out. 1 out, 9th inning, 3-1 Dodgers. Goldschmidt has 7 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He had a double last night, and he had 2 singles in the first game. 0-1. Hill at first base, 1 out. That's a strike. So there's Goldschmidt having struck out 3 times, and he's in a hole again, just like half of the Diamondback hitters. 0-2. And of course, Justin Upton can write a book about it. On deck, Miguel Montero. Got a little bit of that, so he's still up there, 0-2. Goldschmidt out of Texas. He was signed in 2009 facing Kenley Jansen, so he certainly doesn't have much experience. 24 years old. One and two. Jansen locked in at 93, had 1 pitch at 95. Kenley made 20 pitches last night and struck out 3. Oh, what a night. Welcome to the big leagues. Not only 0 for 4, but you strike out all 4 times. And with 2 down, Miguel Montero coming up. He has joined a long list of major league players. For Jansen, 2 strikeouts, 12 D-backs have struck out. Now Montero, as we've mentioned, has not hit at all against left-handers. However, he has 16 home runs, 15 of them hit against right-handers, and where he's hitting about 180 against left-handers, he's hitting 309 against right-handers. And there goes Hill. Defensive indifference does take the force play away. 0-1 to Miguel Montero. Montero has just 1 previous at-bat against Jansen going into this series and struck out. Last night, Jansen pitched the 7th inning, relieving Quo. He did not face Montero. And now the Diamondbacks are down to their last strike. So the Dodgers have a couple of things Number one, they wanted so badly to defer Kennedy's bid, and they did it. They wanted so badly to give Kershaw his 19th win. And they wanted badly to avoid the magic number. They would be officially eliminated with a loss tonight. Ground ball, base hit, left field. Here comes Hill. He will score. So Montero continues to be a very solid hitter against right-hand pitching. And the game is still up for grabs as Chris Young comes up. So it's 3-2 in favor of the Dodgers. We'll have a runner for Montero as Young takes his time coming up to the plate. Young has flied to left, grounded to third, and struck out. He was 0 for 3 last night with 2 walks, and he is 0 for 3, so that's 0 for 6. He was 1 for 2 in game 1. Colin Cowgill is the runner at first for Montero. Wouldn't you know, we were talking about Chris Young, comparing him years ago to Tommy Holmes, who had 636 at-bats one year, hit 28 home runs, and had struck out 9 times. Well, here's Chris. He has struck out 127 times right now. Cowgill, over there at first, has stolen 3, but he's been caught twice. Cowgill appeared as a pinch hitter last night, and then Burroughs batted for him, and Burroughs struck out. So Chris Young hitting .228, feast or famine, checking in, 20 home runs, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. And 0-2. That took the mask right off the face of Rod Barajas. So you have a strikeout hitter up there with a no ball 2 strike count. You have a strikeout pitcher on the mound, but you also know 1 pitch, and Young could give the D-backs a lead. Another 0-2 count. Remember, Montero's base hit was on an 0-2 count. 0-2 to Young. And ball 1. Cowgill faking over there at first. Two out, a run in. 9th inning. Dodgers 3, D-backs 2. One and 2 to Chris Young. Cowgill goes. Pitch is strike 3 called. So like Josh Lindblom in relief, Jansen comes with a breaking ball to strike out Young and strike out the side. So 13 Diamondbacks struck out, and the Dodgers hang on to win it 3-2. Upton, along with others, going down without a hit. And when it's all said and done and the fireworks have settled, Clayton Kershaw is the winning pitcher. He's 19-5 with Lindblom, Eovaldi, and Jansen all turning in a marvelous relief job. Jansen, by the way, who made 20 pitches last night, came in to make 22 pitches tonight. Aaron Miles turned out to have the key base hit to drive in the 3rd run, and the Dodgers wind up winning it 3-2. Tomorrow night, the Pirates. And now, stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good